Today I will try to beat Dredge, but a random sea monster spawns every 10 seconds. Believe me when I say that this was the most intense challenge I've ever done.
Okay, I'm dead again. That's it. Boom. Ooh, I'm dead. I'm done with this. GG guys, GG.
And to make it even harder for myself, so that I can't just play it safe, I will set myself the challenge to do it in 20 in-game days. So, besides getting swamped by monsters every few seconds, I also had to be fast. Why am I doing this to myself? Stick around and watch how this challenge drives me to despair. Oh boy, he doesn't know what he's in for. As always, we start in Great Marrow, and as you can see, the challenge had already begun. At the beginning, an event takes place every 60 seconds, but with each day that passes in the game, the timer decreases by 5 seconds. This way, the challenge becomes more intense over time, and from day 11, sea monsters appear every 10 seconds. You will never believe what this looks like. So I started fishing while the timer was already ticking down dramatically. Especially at the beginning, when I was still very slow and vulnerable, the sea monsters were particularly dangerous. Fortunately, the first event that happened was harmless and only caused a few dolphins to appear. At this point it should be mentioned that not only sea monsters, but any kind of event can happen when the timer reaches 0. This includes not only optical illusions and creature animations, but also the worst sea monsters like the phantom shark or the leviathan. Doing it this way makes the challenge more unpredictable and exciting. Enough explaining. Let's get on with it and watch the sea monsters destroy me. After I collected the fish I needed for a side quest, the first sea monster appeared. And this was not even due to the timer. Besides the timed event, normal ones would also happen. So I quickly blew my air horn to get rid of the birds and went to deliver the fish. For delivering 5 curved fish, I got the sinew spindle, a piece of equipment that would allow me to fish in shallow waters. I also collected some loot out of a shipwreck. And this was when the fun began. The timer had 0 and vines appeared. Since I had no chance of dodging those, I had to take the damage and hope that I don't lose anything valuable. Normally, this was impossible, since vines would only appear in the area of the twisted strands, but this mod goes beyond the limits of the normal game, as you will discover in the course of the challenge. I continued fishing to complete some quests for money. As collecting money was very important at the beginning, I took every opportunity to fish. The timer was still at 60 seconds, but later, when sea monsters appeared every 10 seconds, it would be almost impossible to fish unharmed. So I finished a few delivery quests at the fishmonger and was able to afford my second engine as well as repair my ship. I still wasn't fast enough to outmaneuver any monsters, but at least I could get things done faster. What I didn't realize was that the next monster attack was already about to happen. Luckily, I did react in time. This would have been expensive since the tentacle does 2 damage and repairing would cost 60 bucks. The next event was a monster again, and this time avoiding it was impossible. I headed out a few more times without big problems, but then this happened. I wasn't sure if the leviathan would actually appear, because normally it would be impossible in this area, but as you can see, he actually did. This was a close one. Next, a whale was headbutting a cliff. I hope he's alright. I went to another shipwreck with some materials and valuable stuff. The event that followed was flickering lights. That's not a bad one. Another one we haven't seen so far was this water sprout. I was lucky that the events haven't been disastrous so far, but that will change quickly. After completing some side quests for money and selling the jewelry I had, I was greeted by some ravens. As it was already day 4, the monster timer was now at 45 seconds and would steadily decrease. It was really starting to get intense. I had already accumulated some money, but that wouldn't last long. As I went out again, a phantom shark appeared out of nowhere and attacked me. He was way too fast and I had 0 chance of dodging. He did 2 damage to my boat and disabled my equipment, so I had to repair it first before heading on. This just cost me time I didn't have. As I had to complete the game in 20 days, every second counted. After losing 60 bucks and half a day, the next event were vines. I wasn't fast enough yet, so dodging was still impossible. For those of you who don't know, the aim of Dredge is to collect 5 relics scattered around the map. But first I had to wait for day 5, since then I could progress in the storyline. Once the day started, I needed to fish immediately and hope to find an aberrant version of a fish. While I was trying to get the aberrant fish as soon as possible, I got damaged again out of nowhere. I always forgot that besides the monsters appearing every few seconds, there were also the normal dangers of the game. I got what I needed, delivered it to the fishmonger. He then cut the fish open and gave me what was inside, a handkerchief. I took it to the island nearby, where the collector, a weird looking character, installed dredging equipment onto my boat. This enabled me to get the first relic as well as to dredge up some materials for boat upgrades. So I upgraded my net space, researched and bought a net. This was important as it was needed to finish the game and also provided a steady stream of money. Believe me, I needed money. This monster was actually released only a few months ago. It is not really fast. but definitely faster than I was. For this reason, the next step was particularly important. When I delivered the first relic, I unlocked the haste ability. This enabled me to accelerate my boat to a certain extent from then on. As it was already day 6, sea monsters were now appearing every 35 seconds, and you could feel it. The Leviathan appeared and I thought it was a safe area, but it just slid through the ground and actually damaged me twice. Again, $60 down the drain and my money was almost gone. At least I had enough money and material to improve my engine space and buy a third engine. Finally I would be able to dodge some of those monsters. Speaking of the devil, it was barely enough, but I actually managed to escape. These engine upgrades were worth every penny. With a few orcas accompanying me, I finally arrived at the second area, the Gale Cliffs. Unfortunately, it would not remain with these harmless creatures, as I found out shortly after. The serpent, which was already a great danger on its own, was now being joined by other monsters. As he kept following me, I disappeared behind the waterfall. I was safe here for the moment. The first step to get the relic of this area was to dredge up the family crest from the center of the cliffs. With it, I could reunite a family that had fallen out. However, it wasn't long before the challenge destroyed me once again. After selling what had accumulated in my fishing net, I barely had enough money to repair my boat, only to get damaged again. I delivered the family crest to this old guy and went on, but things weren't going my way.
I'm in a pretty bad place right now. Really bad, because I don't have money to repair my boat. And I have 1 HP. So the challenge could already be over, I think.
Past me summed it up quite well, but I wasn't giving up so easy. I went out again really carefully and tried to get at least enough money to repair myself. I did it, but it took me so much time and I wasn't sure I could do the challenge in 20 days the way things were going. Next up was a really weird interaction.
Bro? Bro, what are you doing? Go away, please! I think I will just get... And the monster attack. And the hull is damaged. And the monster will appear right now.
Again, my engines and my boat were completely destroyed. When the next monster appeared, there was just nothing I could do. And there we have it, the first death of the challenge. It was only a matter of time. While I was trying to catch some fish for the repair, vines appeared. The timer was now at 25 seconds, so it was only gonna get harder. I respawned, tried to get some money for repair, and just got killed again. Maybe it is time for a death counter. Comment below how many times you think I will die by the end of the challenge. Afterwards, I finally managed to repair my boat and used the explosive I got from the family to get access to the next relic. I dredged it up and headed back to the collector. This unlocked me the manifest ability, which would allow me to teleport back to this island whenever I wanted to. The next stop was Stellar Basin. The primary thing we needed to do in this area was to get specific fish that would allow me to unlock the equipment needed to dredge up the next relic. Since I had completed the game many times, I knew exactly where I had to search. It was now day 9. The monster timer was already at 20 seconds and monsters were attacking continuously. I caught the last fish I needed for the quest and delivered everything to the researcher. Afterwards, I actually managed to dodge the vines for the first time. These engine upgrades finally paid off. While moving forward with the quest, a phantom shark tried to bite me, but I reacted in time, only for another one to appear 15 seconds later. And another one. The challenge was getting serious, but this was only the beginning. This area was nothing compared to the next one. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To afford the equipment needed, I had to get more than 500 bucks. This meant catching a lot of fish. Perfect time to tell you what I've been working on over the last few weeks. From now on, you can support me through channel membership and get exciting benefits in return. Starting at less than $1, you get access to exclusive behind the scenes content, cool badges to show your loyalty, custom dredge emojis, and much more. Just click the join button below to check it out. Okay, back to the challenge where this big boy tried to eat me. I managed to escape unharmed this time, but now it was day 11 and this meant monsters were now spawning every 10 seconds. I felt the effects of this shortly after. I caught some big valuable fish, but the fish infecting event just made them worthless. And that was just the beginning. One monster after the other appeared and attacked me. It was almost impossible to get the money I needed while being harassed like this. Those 2 monster attacks cost me all of the money I had just collected. A third monster attack followed shortly after, and the undodgeable tentacle also paid me a visit. It felt like trying to pour water in a bottomless glass. I just somehow had to get money faster than I lost it. This challenge was so much harder than I expected. I kept going for the big fish as they were fast to catch and worth a lot. And then I was finally able to buy the equipment I needed. Not without another Leviathan attack, I headed for the relic, quickly dredged it up and used manifest to get out of there. For delivering the relic, I unlocked the banish ability, another useful tool to defend myself. At this point, I was really struggling to see that the challenge was still possible. 12 days already and the 2 most challenging areas were still remaining. Needless to say, with sea monsters spawning every 10 seconds. Before I headed into the next area, I first had to research and buy the new fishing rod, so that I would be able to catch fish in the swamp. When I first entered the area, little did I know that this would be the most difficult experience with Dredge to date. Anyways, still with some hope left, I went into the swamp and was greeted by the Mindsucker. Normally he would be chill, since you just had to stand still for it to disappear. In this challenge however, standing still meant waiting for monsters to kill you. I went on and talked to the airman in the middle of the swamp. He would give me the next relic when I help him with his mission. First, I would need to get some mortar parts and then specific fish to produce bait. When everything was ready, I would use those traps to lure the Mindsuckers in and finish them. But unfortunately, we were still a long way from that. I managed to get the first mortar part, but not without some damage. Sadly, I wasn't able to cast Banish in time either when the Phantom Shark attacked me. While I had to wait for the roots to disappear, a tentacle attack finished me off. I respawned, went out again, only for this to happen. One monster every 10 seconds was just cruel. I couldn't go on like this, so I at least repaired one part of my boat. This way, I wouldn't get one shot every time. Afterwards, I dredged up the second mortar part and caught myself in a bad situation.
No, the Leviathan will kill me. It's so narrow space. Bro, no. I don't have space for this. And ravens are appearing. Go away. Bro, no. And tentacles are... I can outdrive them. Nice. Oh.
At this point, I was completely sweating. I delivered the mortar and started collecting the needed fish. The Phantom Shark was about to kill me, but I was able to cast Banish in time. This was way too close, that's why I decided to repair my boat. I placed the bait and killed the first Mindsucker. I had to use Banish again for this tentacle. And that's how I found out that Banish only works for the first monster that attacks. There I was again, with no health, and the Leviathan was trying to finish me. I survived it, only to get eaten by a glowing shark. The 10-second timer was just brutal. I couldn't do nothing. At this point, I can't even show you every monster attack that happened, because that would just be too much for the video. If you want to see everything, check out the livestream I linked in the top, and for this video I will try to stick to the highlights, just like this one.
Oh, I dodged it. Please. Open the door so I can get out. And ravens. No. No, no, no. Please, ravens, go away. Monster don't attack me and open the door so I can go through it. Okay, I got the ravens. And tentacles. I will banish. Okay, it just banished the tentacles.
I don't know how I got out of there unharmed, to be honest. When I had finally collected all the fish I needed and almost reached the airman, my favorite friend the Phantom Shark visited me and Banish was still on cooldown. I went out for the needed fish again, and just when I was about to deliver it, the Phantom Shark took it again. I decided to end my misery and start again from the last save. And again, luck was not on my side. This shark actually hit both of my engines and I was almost unable to move. So I added one to the death count and tried again. This time I was able to kill the next sucker and get the last fish I needed, the catfish. But when I was almost there, fate played another trick on me. I saw the event, knew what was going to happen and just hoped that my fish would survive. But luck really wasn't on my side that day.
No, Phantom Shark. How did he hit me? No, I lost the catfish. I lost the catfish.
The desperation in my voice was hard to miss and it only got worse. On the one hand, it killed my catfish, and on the other hand, I couldn't even reset because I was docked and the game was saved. Because the catfish only spawns at night and it was almost day, I would lose one more whole day of the challenge. At this point I was sure the challenge was lost, because how could I beat Devilspine in less than 3 days? Anyways, I kept going. And kept dying. I had to change something. This time I slept a little in the hope that fewer monsters would appear. Just for safety, I collected 2 catfish this time. That had to be enough, right? When I collected the last sucker, I had to throw away one of my catfish because my inventory was full. I mean, you know what's coming, right?
I don't have banish, I can't dodge it. I can't. I lost the catfish. I will just die.
It was as if these sharks were magically attracted to my catfish. I got it again, and this time all I had to do was to threaten the monsters.
I almost got hit again, and I can't dodge those. When you kill my catfish, I will kill you.
That worked, and I finally delivered it. What a relief. But this was still far from over. Of course, it would be too easy if the monsters would just let me do my stuff, so 2 Leviathans appeared in quick succession. The second one really caught me off guard, and then some vines joined the party to finish me off. At this point, I had no health left, broken engines, and still had to kill one more Mindsucker. I will make it quick.
No, 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 no. And the Leviathan appears in front of me. Nice. Or not nice. Whatever. I will still finish. So very excited, and I'm also very dead. So I'm dead again. Do I have banish? Okay, I have banish. I have to banish, otherwise I'm dead. And yeah, wow, vines again. GG guys, GG. Come on. Okay, I'm dead again. GG guys, that's it. Boom. Ooh, I'm dead. I'm done with this. GG guys, GG. It is a tentacle. Well, that's the second most harmful thing.
Since this wasn't working, I decided to get some more money to repair my boat, but that took up valuable time that I didn't have. By doing so, I could actually dodge some of the monsters again. Finally, I was able to kill the last sucker and deliver the corpse. After all that pain and suffering, the relic was finally mine. I manifested, delivered it, and got the atrophy ability in return. This would allow me to get specific fish I had no equipment for. I made my way to the Devil's Spine, the last area, and when I arrived there it was already day 17. In fact, I had to hand in the last relic on day 19 at the latest, because you're always forced to sleep for a day at the end. As I only had 2 days left to complete the challenge, every second counted. For this area, I again needed to fulfill specific fish quests. To be precise, I needed certain crabs, certain fish, and 2 aberrant fish. So the first step was to place as many crab pots as possible and hope that the right crabs would be caught. While looking for the other fish I needed, I had to fight a tentacle, and shortly after, another tentacle. I used atrophy to get a fish I did not have the equipment for, and with that, I could complete the first of 3 orders. But on my way back, I got attacked so many times that I had no health and no banish left. I got everything again, only for a number of unfortunate events to happen. Third time is a charm. After some more of this and this, I managed to finish the second order and get the second flame. It was day 19, so everything had to go well now or the challenge was over. Luckily, the crab pots actually gave me the crabs I needed and I managed to fulfill the third order. To finish the quest, I needed to give all the flames I collected to this guy. I couldn't believe it, but looking at the time, beating the challenge was actually still possible. The fanatic gave me the last relic and I quickly brought it back to the collector. There we have it, all relics delivered and on the way to finish the challenge. On the last steps, I have to thank the sea and the Dredge modding community, without whom this challenge would not have been possible. Check out their work in the description. The last few meters lay ahead of me and I just couldn't believe that I completed the challenge after all those creepy monsters and unfortunate incidents. If you haven't seen the end of Dredge yet, definitely take a look, and if you want to become a Dredge pro like me, check out this video where I've bundled all of my knowledge.